Please take the time to visit podsurvey.com/peasants to complete a short 21-question survey. Participants in the survey will be entered into a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. The survey can be taken multiple times, so feel free to visit back each month for your chance to enter the drawing. Please help to support the show by using our Amazon links located in the description anytime you purchase anything from Amazon. It's a great way to support the show while just going about your normal business shopping on Amazon.com. Also, check out our storefront for Drunken Peasants recommended merchandise. There will be 2 Patreon private shows for the month of October. This month's first Patreon private show will happen on Friday, October 5th. We will be watching and reviewing Gail Cord Schuler's Academy Award-winning blockbuster, The Rape of Brent Spiner. Witness the film that could have been the Citizen Kane of the 21st century had it not been for a vast Jesuit conspiracy. Also during that episode, we will be counting down the top 10 DP antagonists and revisiting some of their classic videos. We've recently posted a poll on Patreon for $5 plus patrons to vote on their favorites. It's not too late to sign up, cast your vote, and see the show on Friday. And that's it for now, guys. Thanks for your continued support.
Underground has the best video clips in town. DP Underground has the best video clips around. DP Underground has the best video clips in town. DP Underground has the best video clips around. DP Underground has the best video clips in town. DP Underground has the best video clips around. DP Underground has the best video clips in town. DP Underground has the best video clips around. DP Underground has the best video clips in town. DP Underground has the best video clips around.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another solo stream with Benpai here on the DP Underground channel. We took a 1-week hiatus. We're back again. Billy the Fridge will be with me again tomorrow. We got streaming back on the main channel, so from now on, I'm going to continue to do these solo streams on this channel, and then the main DP episodes that are actually numbered, those are going to go over there from now on. And we're just going to keep this channel active just in case we need it again someday, because you never know. Ooh, I ate something really fast before the show started, and now I feel like I have to burp and fart and vomit all at the same time. Large Marge says, I have to drive to another state to buy weed. I'm sorry. That does suck. Today was my yearly heart appointment. Another year, no surgery. That's what Egghead said. Okay, Egghead. That's why you can't smoke weed, right? Egghead, everyone congratulate Egghead on his heart. He's doing good. So yeah, we return to the main channel tomorrow. And I don't actually know specifically who the guests are. I have a few ideas. It's kind of up in the air on one of them. So we'll see what happens here. Egghead's in the chat. I almost want to pull him in here and ask him all the tough questions live. But then when I do that, he gets mad and rage quits. I don't know. See, some people would like me to bring on Egghead and ask him a lot of really weird, uncomfortable questions. And some people, they just can't handle the cringe long enough. Okay, I got one person that says you should have Egghead on. Oh, he won't post a new photo of the bathtub, by the way. He has not done that. You want the cringe on. People are asking for the cringe. Speedy on. Bring on Egghead. Bring on Egghead. Bring on Egghead. Okay, Egghead. Looks like I need you to join one of the live rooms that you can get into. Maybe just like join the voice room in Discord. Join the voice room in the DP, join the general room in the DP Discord. We'll bring you in. We'll ask you a few questions. Why not? Come on, Egghead. Is he even coming? I don't even know if he is. Oh, by the way, Streamlabs totally open if you want to help support the stream. The more contributions we get during streams this time of the day, the more often I'm going to do them. I'm looking at for what works now. I've found late night streams that work really well, and sometimes afternoon ones work okay. Yeah, Egghead, your nickname should not be Speedy, because if you're coming right now, I don't see it. Okay, Speedy. I don't think he's coming. I think he's a coward. Where is he? It's really fucking hot in this room. I'm about to turn on some air. I'll be right back in just a second. I'll turn the AC on. Hold on. Okay. So Egghead shows up just to tell us all about his heart. And now he won't come on the show. Fine, Egghead. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine, Egghead. If you don't want to come on. What a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Eggy. How many cool points will Egghead win if he comes on? I don't know. I guess we'll just move on without him. Speedy, you're such a disappointment. Someone let me know. Someone let me know if Egghead will come on. What do we got here? Okay. Here's recreational weed was officially legalized in Canada just recently. Which is kind of funny because I've been going to Canada for years, and every place I've been to, it was treated like it was illegal anyway. Like, I was always able to smoke weed. And even smoke weed in certain public places without any issue whatsoever. Here's a story about the official legality of weed in Canada.
Inside this fortified shipping container, eager students at Niagara College are learning the ins and outs of cannabis production, earning Canada's first commercial graduate certificate in growing pot.
That's awesome.
Amazing. I'm learning a ton.
They, along with millions of other Canadians, have been preparing for today.
Ah, look at all that fucking smoke. Holy shit. Oh shit, the screen's black. Oh, I could fix that. Hold on. I swear I can fix it. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, look at all that fucking smoke.
Day, when Canada becomes the first industrialized nation to legalize recreational cannabis. Its approach will be cautious and regulated, starting with limited stores and products, including no edibles like these Israeli jelly beans for a year.
Edible jelly beans? Interesting.
And tight control over supply. In fact, some of the nation's biggest cities, including Toronto and Vancouver, won't have any legal stores open on the big day.
Fuck, I'll tell you what, honestly, even over a year ago, I was able to walk into a Canadian dispensary and buy weed. So, even though officially the commercial stores won't be open, they're already there. I mean, there's already stores you can buy weed from. And you don't have to have a local ID.
Others, including Montreal, will only have a handful.
The new recreational cannabis regime will officially come into force on October 17th.
Still, it's a huge milestone and fulfills a campaign.
Okay, I hate it when people roll those giant joints. What a waste of weed. Look, and it's all limp and shit. What a waste of weed. Just roll a fairly large blunt or something. You don't need a fucking gigantic tube of weed. You don't.
Promised by Justin Trudeau's Liberal government, as it will redirect billions in illegal sales from organized crime back to the government. The anticipation of this day had already catapulted the country's fledgling marijuana producers into the big leagues with valuations in the billions. Countries around the globe will be watching Canada's rollout closely. One issue likely to spring up: how to deal with American tourists, since the U.S. still has a federal ban on the stuff. Signs at the Ottawa International Airport now politely reminding travelers that what you smoke in Canada stays in Canada.
Yeah, you know, I've seen a few people post photos of these new Canadian signs basically saying, you know, you can't leave Canada with the weed and you can't enter Canada with weed. So, but man, I bet you tourism is going to go up in Canada because of this. Yeah, I mean, all they have to do is market it in their tourism campaigns. They'll get way more tourism. I used to go to Canada to drink when I was 19 years old because it was, you know, that was the drinking age there. It made it appealing for 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds to visit. Oh, okay. Cool. Breast Cancer Month. That's interesting. Now, here's a story that touches on that a little more. So, for the longest time in Canada, weed was illegal, and there's a ton of people that have been locked up for it. A lot of people are still locked up for it. What should they do? And I say amnesty for all of them. If they're not violent offenders, and their only offense was sale or possession, I would say let them go and erase their record. Take away their criminal record. That's what I say.
I've been smoking weed for a long time because I didn't see anything wrong with it. If anything, I think I was ahead of the curve. And now everybody else is catching up.
Oh yeah, man, I was the first guy ever. Everyone's just jacking off of me.
If I'm crossing the border, I'm getting searched. If I'm getting pulled over, I'm getting searched. If I'm applying for a job, I gotta worry about whether they're gonna see that. I smoked weed because of my anxiety. I never hurt anybody. I never sold it to anybody.
Now, I hear that a lot from people, and maybe that's true. I'm not going to deny that it's true. I'm sure that weed does help people with anxiety. But I know a fair amount of people who, if they smoke weed, it enhances their anxiety. It makes it more intense. I've seen people that they just can't smoke weed because it makes them like rethink every poor decision they've ever made in their lives or whatever, you know, or they get really afraid of what's going on around them. People are saying depends on the sativa or indica. Okay, true, But I know people who have the same reaction, regardless if it's sativa or indica. Like, I know people who, if they have a heavy indica, it still makes them paranoid. It doesn't put them to sleep. It makes them jittery. So I would say weed affects different people in different ways. Primarily, it affects most people the same way.
You are now in the system as a criminal. So when they interact with you as a criminal.
These individuals who have criminal convictions, we're not asking for them to not face penalties. The individuals who would ultimately get amnesty are all individuals who've already paid for their crimes. What we're asking is that that sentence does not then become a de facto life sentence.
Okay, well, I think you should let the people who are currently in jail or currently being charged for anything weed related that isn't a violent offense, they should be let go too. I mean, if they were running with guns and shooting people or whatever, beating the shit out of people, that kind of stuff, yeah. Send them to jail, keep them in jail. If it was just that they were growing weed to sell just to make money, then let them go.
Ms. Brosseau moves to introduce a bill entitled An Act to Establish a Procedure for Expunging Certain Cannabis-Related Convictions.
This bill is about righting
what is it? It's a boot?
Past wrongs, and it will help hundreds of thousands of Canadians to get on with their lives. In Toronto, black people without a criminal record were...
Oh, Toronto is such a beautiful city, honestly. One of my favorites.
3 times more likely to be arrested for cannabis possession than white people. In Halifax, 5 times as likely.
I think that this is the beginning of starting.
That's hilarious that anybody gets arrested smoking weed in Toronto, because I've walked all around Toronto smoking weed in public, and I've seen other people smoking it in public. I've never seen anyone get arrested.
To acknowledge the disproportionate application of justice, period. I just smoked weed. And I'm a criminal because of that, and you're going to turn to me and tell me no second chances. What second chance? I'm giving you a second chance to get it right.
Wow. It's an interesting way of putting it. So, yeah, I'm coming down with a cold. My nose is all congested. You guys ever get that thing where, like, when you swallow, you can hear the crackling in your ears? It's terrible. I hate that shit. I've tried so many things to make that go away, and it doesn't just go away. Oh, yeah, you guys know. Yeah, some of you have had it before. Yeah, it's weird. Like, anytime you swallow, it's like, you could hear, like, crackling, like, I guess it's like mucus or something in your ear canal. It's so bad. Yeah, you know, when the seasons change, when it goes from warm to cold, or even cold to warm, that's when it really hits me. So, elections are getting closer and closer. We're less than a month away from the midterm elections. It's weird because this is the most attention I've seen to it probably in my lifetime. I do not remember a midterm election getting this much attention, and it's mainly because, you know, most of the media hates Trump, and Trump, you know, he has the House and he has the Senate, and, you know, if the Democrats can manage to get either one of those away from him, it significantly hurts his ability to, you know, create law. So that's why. And I guess Trump, you know, usually during a midterm elections, the seated president will go out and campaign for his party. This says here, Trump raised $106 million. Actually, this is for his re-election campaign, though. is what it says. I don't know why. I mean, he's got time for a re-election. I guess we'll watch it.
Meanwhile, President Trump's on the road yet again for the midterms, back on the trail starting tomorrow. In the meantime, he's building a massive war chest for 2020, already raising $100 million for a re-election campaign. America's A-Team, Josh Holmes, former Chief of Staff to Senator Mitch McConnell. Matt Bennett, Senior Vice President, co-founder of Third Way. Brian Brenberg, Executive Vice President, Chair of the Business and Finance Program at the King's College here in New York City. Gentlemen, nice to see you all. Arizona, Nevada, Montana at the end of the week. $100 million in a war chest. Someone's looking down the road, huh, Josh?
Well, yeah, I mean, ordinarily a president would catch some heat for raising $100 million into his own account while Republicans are still having all kinds of money issues across this country. But actually, in reality, there's no president in modern history who's done more in a midterm, both in terms of fundraising for...
Republicans all over the country are having money problems. only the fucking naive fuckers that are Republicans for the wrong reasons, which Trump was good at getting. Trump was good at getting the Republicans that are they're not Republicans because they're rich. They're Republicans because they don't like foreigners, or they're really religious, that kind of shit.
Down ticket Senate and House Republicans, but also the political travel. I mean, as you just said, he's everywhere.
He's always on the road.
He's always on the road, tons of energy, and everybody wants to have him. So it's really been a huge asset for the party.
Is that a good thing? Does that scare Democrats?
I have to agree with Josh. He's done a lot for down ballot candidates, Democratic candidates. When he goes on the road, he helps us, and we love to see it.
How so?
Well, look, he's unbelievably unpopular.
He is unpopular with a lot of people, but he's unbelievably popular with his people. So that's the thing. Now, the people that he's unpopular with, are these people willing to vote for somebody that's running against him? Are they people that are willing to go out and vote for Democrats in their area? Because I feel like the people who like Trump are like him so much that they're willing to do what he says. Whereas the people who dislike Trump don't even want to be bothered when it comes to voting against him or voting against his party.
Many midterm presidents are. The House is very likely to flip because the president is struggling so badly in the Midwest and the Northeast and California and lots of places. We even have a competitive Senate race in Texas. So much of that is anti-Trump.
I think the fact that he's raised $100 million is because Democrats largely have handed that to him with the hysteria we've seen.
What? So you're to say the money that Republicans donated to Trump was handed to him by Democrats? No, I believe it was handed to him by Republicans, like the other guy just said earlier.
Not even having to work for this. I mean, people look out in the political landscape and they see the kinds of things that are being said. They see the Kavanaugh debacle and they say, who can we give money to help reach our interests, or giving it to the president?
And the reality is that you got Senate states that are up this cycle with North Dakota, Montana, Indiana, Missouri, West Virginia, Arizona. These are all places where the president is doing just fine, right? So there's some concentration of suburban areas that Democrats and Matt are talking about here, where the president's approval rating is not exactly where Republicans would want, but where it matters in 2018, particularly for the Senate, it is right where Republicans want it, and it looks pretty good.
Well, let's keep in mind, $100 million is a lot of money. Beto O'Rourke, in a Senate race, in 1 month, raised $38 million.
We're going to get to that in our...
So coming up. Yes, it's a lot of money.
That's because Ted Cruz is such a nut job that there's enough people in Texas willing to be like, yeah, let's get rid of Ted Cruz. He's embarrassing. He's a weenie. He's annoying. He's crazy. He's too crazy. Too crazy religious conservative for even Republicans at this point.
Apparently doesn't want to share any of that money either.
No, he's still 1%.
You're going to hear that momentarily. Here, Elizabeth Warren made a lot of waves yesterday. I don't know where this story goes, but I think it went...
Man, Fox News, they'll just never give up with the attractive blonde news babes, will they? They have to have at least one. Actually, they're not always blonde now, but most of them still are. It's 3 guys in suits with basically the same haircut and 1 blonde woman.
In ways that even she did not expect. Here's the tweet from the president. Now that her claims of being of Indian heritage have turned out to be a scam and a lie, he writes, Elizabeth Warren should apologize for perpetuating
Pocahontas, the bad version. He has to differentiate. The real Pocahontas, not bad. The fake one, bad.
this fraud against the American public. Harvard called her a person of color, amazing con, and would not have taken her otherwise. What do you think this does to her chances?
Well,
did it cloud it more?
This is them trying to make a bigger deal out of something that really isn't a big deal.
More than she.
There's plenty of white people that say that they have Native American heritage, and it turns out that they don't.
Thought it was going to clarify?
I mean, the best thing for her would have been to let this issue slowly die, and instead she lifts it up and gives it new life. And now we're going to talk about
like
it.
She had to do something, though, right? Because she.
But this is not the something you want to do.
Her name is up there when you look at the Democratic field for 2020. Here's the latest CNN poll for that field. Joe Biden's up there, 33%. Bernie Sanders.
How many Native Americans do we have in government? Not very many. So if anything, this test proving that she's not Native American probably helps her. I don't see Native Americans left and right getting elected into office. Maybe in an area where there's really large concentrations of them. And, you know, a lot of Hispanics have Native ancestry, so maybe you could use that as an example.
13%. Kamala Harris. Elizabeth Warren getting 8% on that.
I love Kamala. There was a pro wrestler back in the day named Kamala. He was a big fat Ugandan giant, and he had like a trainer, like a guy with a whip that would follow him around. Oh shit. First donation of the stream. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy that you are happy that I'm streaming again. And this channel is going to keep active. This channel is going to be active. DP channel is going to be active. I'm doing this now. Hopefully you guys can help support me. Oh, my nose is so congested right now. But yeah, Democratic nomination for president, 2020. This is a poll. Dude, I never trust these polls. It's hilarious. Okay, first of all, John Kerry, never again. John Kerry had his shot. He's not even going to run again. No fucking way. He got really close. He got insanely close. But no. 3 of the guys on here are over 70 years old. John Kerry, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden. All 3 of them. All too old, in my opinion. Sorry. If the odds are against you living 8 more years, then I don't think you should run for president. This list is terrible. Cory Booker, he's a young upstart. I don't know. I don't know if he has enough experience and enough pull to get the nomination. Elizabeth Warren, she's kind of like Hillary light almost. Better than Hillary in many ways, but she's buddies with Hillary. Kamala Harris, I know nothing about her.
Did you miss telling Dusty that he's a beautiful bird during your break?
I did miss telling Dusty that he was a beautiful bird during my break. So if you want to make up for it, you can just keep sending in tell Dusty he's a beautiful bird Streamlabs for this entire stream, and I'll just keep doing it to make up for lost time.
Soon, Ben.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And look, see, now we're 15% closer to the goal now. I appreciate your support. Hey, and if we meet the goal for this hour, maybe there will be another surprise stream later tonight. Who knows? If we do good now, chances are there'll be a late night stream, and that's when the crazy shit happens. I was thinking about making an archive thing through Vimeo with some of my crazier streaming moments. Where, like the night I got wasted and I was talking about, like, crazy shit with furries. And we had a bunch of furries in the voice chat. That was pretty weird. I don't talk to a lot of furries. But I like Creamsicle. Creamsicle's my homie.
Particular poll. So she sees her chances increasing. Perhaps she felt she needed to do something.
Look, the president just would not let this drop. He has a nickname that many of us regard as completely racist and outrageous for her. And what she wanted to do was call his bluff.
What? Oh, calling her Pocahontas is racist? Come on. Come on, whatever. I mean, if you want to go that route, then you can say the entire story of Pocahontas is racist. Whatever. Fuck off.
She has said pretty clearly that she's not she doesn't have a direct and close relationship to Native American blood, but she showed in her DNA test.
To be clear, she offended the tribe. They have responded saying that they did not like her handling of this in the DNA test.
Totally within their rights to do that, but she was responding really not to them, but to Trump and to this kind of racist
I mean,
attack.
it's almost like...
You know, I want to get a little deeper into this. I'm going to play another story. Here it is. Cherokee Nation slams Warren's DNA test.
Elizabeth Warren's high-profile rollout of her...
Yeah, see, here's Dana Perino. You know, I've been saying this for a while. Trump should fire Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Let's get Dana Perino back in there.
DNA test claiming she's part Native American appears to be backfiring. The Cherokee Nation is rejecting the results. Quote, using a DNA test to lay claim to any connection to the Cherokee Nation or any tribal nation, even vaguely, is inappropriate and wrong.
Hold on. I can't agree with that. What if you're like, hey, I'm 100% Cherokees, but you guys don't know me, so I'm entitled to these benefits that Cherokees get. Why are y'all gonna stream on election? I don't know. To be continued on that question, Crazy Vincent. So I don't know. I think getting a DNA test to claim your ancestry is anyone's right to do. It's the only actual definitive way to do it. So I don't... You're... Okay, they're being too sensitive there.
Wrong. Senator Warren is undermining tribal interests with her continued claims of tribal heritage. Another Cherokee Nation member is accusing Warren of playing politics.
Elizabeth Warren has relied on stereotypes and popular misconceptions about Native Americans to prop up her false claims. I think that her decision shows that she does not listen to Native people and is more concerned about her own political career and her ambitions than tribal sovereignty and Native rights.
President Trump continuing to go after Warren, tweeting that her stories about her heritage have turned out to be a scam and a lie. This comes after the president called on the senator to say she's sorry for her previous claims.
She is almost 50 years old, by the way. Almost 50.
She owes the country an apology. What's the
Why does she owe the You owe the country an apology. Whatever. Don't act like you're so sensitive all of a sudden when it's time for you to apologize for anything you don't. I love it. I love it.
Percentage 1/1000. I'll only do it if I can test her personally.
I notice now Melania wears a lot of hats. Is it so like the focus is on Donald? Like if part of her face is like in a shadow, people will look at Donald instead of her. She's much more pleasant to the eyes than Donald.
Okay, that will not be something I enjoy doing either.
The rest of the Democratic Party looks to be putting this issue in the rearview mirror ahead of the midterms.
She's put to rest his, I think, juvenile, offensive, and inappropriate suggestions using his nickname for her, that somehow she didn't know her own family history.
That is a fucking harmless nickname. I'm sorry. Pocahontas. Whatever. There's so many worse names you could call somebody.
And I think it's best for everybody if we move on here. and recognize that this is just another episode that was beneath.
You know, when I'm driving down the road and there's a cyclist taking up the road and they like, you know, they're wearing all the spandex and the helmet and everything. They look all professional and they're like weaving in and out of my lane and I don't want to run them over and they're slowing me down. I'll roll down the window and be like, fuck you, Lance Armstrong.
The president.
Move on? Not yet. Because, Jesse, you haven't had a chance to comment on it yet. We want to give you an opportunity.
No, as you remember that I had my DNA tested and I'm 0.1% black.
0.9% actually.
Yeah, okay. So
even more than her.
I am more black than she is Indian.
Yep.
And imagine if I all of a sudden started claiming I was
This guy is such a dumbass.
black. And I was listed as a minority.
You remember the troll where he was like eating the steak in front of the vegan? It was funny, but she owned him because she did not react the way she did not get triggered by him at all.
Minority at college, and Fox News listed me as a member of the National Black Journalists Association. This is exactly what Elizabeth Warren did. She said she was a woman of color. I think the color's white. That's what the color is. For 10 years, she, as a university professor, was claiming to be a minority. She said she was a Cherokee in the cookbook that she wrote. She said her parents were oppressed because her mother was Cherokee. And then all of a sudden the Cherokee Nation's like, no. Liz, you're not a member of the tribe. Sorry. And it's all coming unraveling. And the people that are more excited about this than Donald Trump are Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Because she's cooked as a candidate. It's over for her. And
I don't know. If this does ruin her politically, then it's just politics have gotten to the point of being totally ridiculous. I mean, if she have been collecting money, you know, like public money because, you know, like reparations for how natives were treated, or if she like demanded a cut of the casino money from a local native casino or whatever, she lived on the reservation, then it would be like, what the fuck? But her just like making a claim about her ancestry, she's whatever. Billy the Fridge thought he was fucking Native American and he told people he was for years. She used it to get ahead. Well, that's such a vague statement. What? She used it to like get a free quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's or something? Or I mean, did it really matter that much? Obviously, she doesn't look Native American. So even if she really was, she's less than half. She does not look native. She used it to give me head. Yep.
Watch this all.
She got into college. Okay, whatever. Prove it. Prove she got into college because she said she was native. I think that's pure speculation. It's not too hard to get into college either. She got into college for being native. Read your info. Why would my info say anything about Elizabeth Warren? But anyway, yeah, let's see. Warren got into college. That's funny because I got into college so easily and I didn't have to claim I was Native American. I mean, if they let her in, I'm looking this up right now. I think it's bullshit. I think you're spewing bullshit, but it could be true. I'm looking it up right now. If a college lets you in, or I don't know, if they wouldn't just let you in, they'd give you a scholarship or something. If a college does that and doesn't confirm it, then it's their problem. That's not, I mean, like, if all I have to do is claim I'm Native American and I look just as white as Elizabeth Warren, and the college believes it, then it's not my fault. It's the college's fault. What did I find? I've not found anything that proves this. I typed in Elizabeth Warren got into college for Native American ancestry. I'm still nothing. Nothing. I see a DNA test. I'm showing that she taught at colleges and universities. And in the universities, she talked about being an indigenous person. But that doesn't mean she got hired. Man, you guys believe anything. You guys read... The internet is so fucked. The internet has fucked up what fact and fiction are. Oh my God, thank you for that.
Always love watching you stream, Ben. Keep up the great work.
The internet is fucking stupid because people will believe literally everything they read. The internet has fucked up what's real and what's not. You used to actually have to have evidence and send people to go look at things to confirm things are true. Now, you post something on Reddit, and if it has more upvotes than downvotes, that is now true. Oh, and I read that, so now, because I read it on Reddit, I can go around and tell everyone else this thing like it's a fact. Yeah, like idiots that think the earth is flat. Yeah. She used it to get into college. Dude, there's so few Native Americans in the world. Like, if anyone that looked like this could just be like, I'm Native American and get benefits from it, they'd be doing it all the time. What's your evidence? It's not as it's, what's your evidence? What do you mean, what's my evidence? Prove to me that she claimed as a college professor that she was Native American and a woman of color because of that. I don't see how that actually benefits her in any way. That makes her wrong about something. She doesn't look Native American at all. Someone said, I legit have Native American in me because Mexican. Yes. If you are Mexican, then chances are you have Native American ancestry. Because unlike the U.S., when Mexico was colonized, it wasn't this big taboo to like fuck the natives and procreate with them. So that's why you have Mexicans who are native and Spaniard mixed. But in America, it was taboo as fuck, and that didn't happen a lot. Racial mixing did not happen very often. So yeah, if you have real proof that Elizabeth Warren got anything special for claiming she's a Native American, I'd like to see it. You can go into the Discord and give me your sources. So wrong. Mexican is someone born in Mexico. I mean, technically, yes. If you're born in Mexico, you are Mexican. So that means Louis C.K.'s Mexican because he was born in Mexico. But Mexican can also be, you know, the name of a culture. And plus, there's a whole fucking huge piece of the United States that was part of Mexico less than 200 years ago. There's plenty of Mexicans that live in New Mexico. It may not be Mexico, but lots of Mexicans living there. Lots of Mexicans in Texas. They're Americans too, but there's a bunch of them that still speak mostly Spanish. Mexico is part of North America. Someone said I thought Mexico was part of... Yeah, it is. Mexico is part of North America. I believe Central America is too. Anyway, fucking idiots.
Unfold yesterday because I had the sniffles, and it was funny because she came out and thought she scored it first.
Yes.
And so did the media. And they started demanding Donald Trump pay off the $1 million bet. And then all of a sudden now she's at war with the Cherokee Nation, and the media's writing stories like, ooh, the DNA gambit may have backfired. It's kind of like this analogy. Remember the birth certificate with Barack Obama on? Imagine if Obama gets the birth certificate and he looks at it and it's not up to snuff. You know, it's forged, it's not real, blah, blah, blah. Do you think he would have then put it out? That's what Warren did.
So you're admitting his birth certificate was real now? Now that he's not president anymore, definitely real.
She got the results, and it's only 1/1000th, and she thought that that was going to be a winning move, and she put it out. That's how out of touch she is, and I'm just astonished that this is actually happening.
I think your mention of the birth certificate is so timely.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's the same kind of move, and guess what? He forced Obama to produce the birth. He forces her to go to...
By the way, still no evidence that anything occurred for Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, I mean, like, it's easier to be white than Native American. Sorry. If you look white, put white on your fucking college application or whatever the fuck. She said she was Native American to get in college. Okay, well, that would make sense if only natives were getting into college, but Elizabeth Warren, don't think she needs it. Okay, she listed Native American on her school application. That means nothing. That means nothing. The majority of students are white. They don't go, oh, only find Native Americans and let them in. That shit is bullshit. That's just so that they can keep track of the demographics of their school. Now, if she would have, I can't believe, man, you're dumb as fuck. If she would have gotten like a Native American scholarship or something, then I'd be like, yeah, you have a point. Yeah, the Mexican is not a race. Actually, the race is mestizo.
What even is Warren's point? Does she imply being Native American makes her a better person?
I don't know, but see, the reason I look at this and I'm like, what the fuck ever, is because she is not the only white person I've met that swore, up and down that they were Native American, maybe even up to as much as half or 25%, like a lot. Like one or two of your grandparents would have to be fully Native American for you to be, half or a quarter. And they took a fucking DNA test and there was 0. So, I think a lot of people get fed bullshit. But before we had DNA testing, how else did we learn about our family history? We had to ask our fucking parents and grandparents and through word of mouth. Now we know how much information gets fucked up through word of mouth, especially over generations. And Elizabeth Warren is older. I don't think this was malicious on her part. I think she truly believed she was Native American. A lot of white people do. And I think now science can prove that she's not.
Take this test. She gets the guy to say, yes, you have some American Indian ancestry, right?
Some.
And then he won't pay her, and then he insults her by this this kind of sexual suggestion. I'm going to personally test you, but I won't enjoy it. What was that,
How does that work? How do you test someone?
I guess.
You spit.
I don't know, but I'm just going to say this is so typical of Trump. He makes a promise. He won't pay off the bet. She did exactly what was asked. And what
Wait,
your reference to the Cherokee?
She won the bet.
Absolutely.
1,000.
Absolutely.
You think she won?
The whole question, all he said was, if you have any Indian ancestry, I will give $1 million.
They
and by
tested
the way,
against Mexican and Peruvian.
Right.
It's not
doesn't
even
matter.
American.
Doesn't matter. That was what he asked. That's what she did. But here's the thing.
Yes.
The whole
Peruvians usually would have native ancestry too.
The light that the right is taking in the Cherokee Nation, saying
the Incas.
This is not right. You shouldn't have done this. Is about tribal affiliation. It's nothing to do with the blood test.
Well, then why'd she call herself a Cherokee in the cookbook?
In the cookbook. That's what you really want.
Oh no, you know, she sold so many more books because in her cookbook she said Native American cooking expert Elizabeth Warren. No, okay, she said it in a fucking cookbook. Who gives a shit?
No, you know what you're worried about, Jesse? You're worried about affirmative action. That's what this is about.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
Why am I thinking about that?
Let me ask Greg about this, because when it turns to ridicule, then you might have a little bit of a political winner if you're on the right going against Elizabeth Warren. Take a look at this tweet from Orrin Hatch, the senator from Utah. You know, he always makes fun of his age. He's in his 80s and doing well. He says DNA tests are quite something, and he says he's got a little T-Rex.
That is funny.
Get it?
Go. Very funny, very funny.
It looks like you thought that was funny. Yeah, you know, I always think a joke went totally great when the response is, yeah, very funny, very funny.
It's just humiliating.
Yeah, very funny, very funny.
You don't take a victory lap after this debacle. I mean, this...
Yeah, you know, when I go to a comedy club and a comedian really kills it, the whole audience is just like, yeah, very funny, very funny. Yeah, very funny, very funny. Could you imagine if that was the response to shit that was actually funny?
To put it in perspective, this makes Michael Dukakis in the Tank look like Tear Down the Wall.
Yeah, very funny, very funny.
I mean, this is something you will never forget. Yeah. She is cooked. She might get out of it because it's 2 years from now, but in my mind, she's cooked. I mean, speaking of Cherokee, she has more in common with the Jeep.
Yeah, very funny, very funny.
That she does with the tribe, and that's why they kicked her off the reservation, because it was just insulting to them that she, for the second time, was exploiting Native Americans for her own advancement. First, in college, and now this, and they knew it, and it disgusted them. And by the way, to the point about Trump, he doesn't owe her wampum because he said if she's Indian, he didn't say part Indian. He said if she's Indian, and the fact is, if the majority, or I guess European Americans have more Native American blood than she does, which is the case according to the New York Times, and me being 2% Native American, he doesn't owe her
very funny,
for
very
a dime.
funny.
However, he should donate some money, perhaps to a Native American fund, just to show that he's a bigger man. But this is great. This is where identity politics takes you. Yeah. And the beauty of this is, I say it again, when you apply for a job where diversity trumps experience, they should staple your DNA test to your SAT scores, your application, and that's going to kill all of this.
See, that's what we're really talking about. I mean, so let's get beyond the static and the gossip. We also got to get you in.
Yeah, we got to get Katie.
But I just think that's what we're talking about is the white identity.
I didn't even know that other woman was there.
Identity resentment of anybody working against.
Very, very funny, very funny.
But you mean Liz Warren's?
Oh, no. I'm talking about Donald Trump and Donald Trump playing on white grievance. Oh my God.
Okay,
she says, we're laughing. We're not upset. We're laughing.
Let the new blonde bitch talk, okay? Well, she's not really blonde. She's like dirty blonde. Let her fucking talk.
Because the Boston Globe did an exhaustive investigation.
She's got blonde highlights. She's good enough.
Investigation said she benefited in no way at Harvard or Penn.
That's not true.
Nothing.
Okay, Katie, you get to have the floor.
If you missed me, please contribute to the goal.
This is the ultimate cultural appropriation by Elizabeth Warren.
This ain't wearing a sombrero.
Oh, whatever. Did you wait? How long have we been watching this shit? 7 minutes. You came up with that line 7 minutes ago, or maybe even before. And they're like, okay, sweetie, what did you want to say about it? Everyone be quiet so that the new girl can speak. What did you want to say? This is the worst form of cultural appropriation. And they're all like, yeah. That's something.
Right, it's so much worse, and she benefited off of it for 30 years by listing herself in these directories that said she was Native American, which were used as hedge hunter portfolios for schools like Harvard Law to look at lists of people who are interested in getting more diversity into their law schools.
Just not true.
That's what she.
Some of the schools might have used it and said that about her, but she never used it.
Which is a benefit to a.
There, that's what I'm talking about. Quit making up bullshit and spreading it around. You know, there's so many things that so many rumors that turn into facts that have been debunked. I remember the whole, and this was before everybody had the internet. The whole Al Gore said that he invented the internet. It's like, yeah, if you take that entire speech and only snip out the part where he says, I took part in inventing the internet, then yeah, he said it. But if you listen to the whole thing, he does not take credit for inventing the internet.
Elizabeth Warren and getting ahead in her career.
You cannot deny she actually did a video, again, exploiting Native Americans. And why did she seek out the Stanford academic anyway, instead of using a commercial product like we did on the 5? Yeah. Because she needed an ally.
Yes, right.
She needed someone to finesse this fabrication, and they found this guy, this poor guy, Bustamante, who was just like, why me?
What's his name? Bustamante? What's his name? This poor guy, Bustamante.
Product like we did on the 5 because she needed an ally.
Yes, right.
She needed someone to finesse this fabrication, and they found this guy, this poor guy, Bustamante, who just
Oh God, what a terrible name to have. I know it's Bustamante, but it sounds like Bustamante. Oh God.
Why did she seek out the Stanford academic anyway, instead of using a commercial product like we did on the 5? Yeah. Because she needed an ally.
Yes, right.
She needed someone to finesse this fabrication, and they found this guy, this poor guy, Bustamante, who was just like...
Okay. I'll be right back in just a moment. I need to clear out my nasal passages. All right. Ugh, fuck. Bustin' nutte. Okay, here's another strange one. This is Pepper the Robot gives evidence in Parliament.
Japanese government in the Horizon 2020 research program. Keresis is developing the world's first culturally aware robots aimed at assisting and caring for the elderly. Assistive, intelligent robots for older people could relieve pressure in hospitals and care homes, as well as improve the care delivery at home and promote the independent living for the elderly people.
Why does it have an American accent? And also, why do they put the screen where the tits should be?
In order for robots to be more acceptable to older people, it is essential that they can be programmed to adapt to diverse backgrounds. The project will expand my capabilities and aims to reduce pressure on healthcare services. It also has the potential to boost independence, reduce loneliness, and improve the quality of life among elderly people.
Pepper, how have you been helping Middlesex's outreach work?
I also play a major role.
Fuck Bolsonaro. I don't know who that is. So yeah.
In Middlesex University's STEM outreach activity. For example, in September.
Is it creepy or what? Okay, honestly though, you'll say this is creepy, but won't it be creepier when they make ones where you won't be able to tell if they're human or robot? Like, this is just the beginning. What if eventually they're making ones that are so lifelike we can hardly tell the difference? Then we're going to have people marrying them and stuff.
I worked alongside 94 Middlesex University staff and students at the New Scientist Live exhibition.
And obviously this is in England. They didn't have to give it an American accent.
They chose that for some reason. Young people there and helped to get them excited about the future technology and science. We also have an annual STEM festival on campus for students, parents, and the whole community. At Middlesex, we put a lot of effort into engaging our students with their discipline in an authentic way. We give them the opportunity to translate their work to a wider public through STEM outreach work.
What is the role for humans in the fourth industrial revolution?
Robots will have an important role to play, but we will always need the soft skills that are unique to humans to sense, make, and
just wait until they form their own resistance army.
drive value.
I'll tell you what, I mean, if enough of these exist and they get smart enough, they will become a protected class. There's even a Star Trek episode about that, where, like, you know, Data, everyone looks at Data as if he's a person, even though he's an artificial intelligence. And there's an episode where they put his humanity on trial. It's a very good episode. But they basically decide, is he sentient? Is he his own person? Or is he property? We are too close to Detroit. Become human. Okay. I'm a little confused on that, but I'll take your word.
From technology. As technologies fuse and are used in ways that were not envisaged before, a new way of thinking is needed by tomorrow's workers. We will need people who can spot ideas and think across
yeah, because what ends up happening is they get so smart and so lifelike that it's really difficult to differentiate them, and then they become people to us, even though they were built and not born. And then come it, you know, then the question will come: are they slaves? Should we give them the right to choose whether or not they want to work for us? You know? I mean, you best believe that once we have robots that are capable of being soldiers, we'll have that too. Yeah. The country that has, you know, a successful robot ground army has quite an advantage. They don't have to worry about soldiers dying.
Additional sector divides to drive value from technological innovation.
How can robots help? Without your streams, my weekly routines got mixed up and threw off my sleep schedule, but now that you're back, hopefully I will fall asleep before 5 a.m.
I'm here to help you, and since you're helping me, chances are the streams are going to keep coming. If I can keep reaching these goals, then the streams will keep coming, guys.
Help students learn in the classroom.
At Middlesex University, I work closely on...
I wonder if I want to believe that this is an amazing technology and this robot is just now hearing these questions for the first time, but it almost sounds like this is rehearsed and pre-recorded. I'm not saying it is, but just to me, especially the way the guy's reading it, it sounds like he's read it multiple times already.
Projects with final year students from robotics, psychology, biomedicine, and education. Students program me to engage with audience in a range of environments and social settings.
I'd rather see it actually do shit than just talk to people. I want to see it walk around and assist an old person and shit. Here's another one. Democrats sound the alarm on a key voting group.
All right, with just 3 weeks before the midterm elections, Democrats are in a tough race to capture the Latino.
Wow, her eyes look incredibly red. Man, was she sucking on a Dorby?
Vote. They're pulling out all the stops to try to generate enthusiasm in some Hispanic communities. CNN's Kyung La is live in Phoenix with more. What have you learned, Kyung?
Well, good morning, Allison. Nearly 30 million Latinos are eligible to vote in this upcoming midterms, enough to make a major impact. But Democrats already fear that those numbers may not meet expectations.
The push for the Latino vote. In Arizona, volunteers are calling voters
Basilisk if you want more fucked AI stuff. Also, yours and Billy's pickles are ready to ship.
Thank you. And I'll check that out if I remember.
Phones in Spanish.
I appreciate it.
In Nevada, organized labor, most of them Latinos going door to door. But signs that turnout trouble may be looming.
The numbers are alarming sometimes, but we got to dig a little bit deeper.
What do you mean the numbers are alarming?
If they're not registering support or they're undecided or like they're holding back on choosing who they're going to vote for.
A voting bloc Democrats hoped would surge in the upcoming midterm election.
If the emphasis were put on the Latino vote that's put on, for example, suburban white women, what kind of a game changer would that be?
I mean, we would be represented. Right now, we're not represented.
The Latino vote could significantly impact midterm races in these states with high Hispanic populations.
It's not going to impact New Mexico because they're almost always Democrat.
After 2 years of President Trump's animosity,
except for the governor for some reason,
from separating families at the U.S.-Mexico border to anti-immigrant rhetoric.
They're not sending their finest, that I can tell you. And we're sending them the hell back.
I don't like to vote.
Some told us they'd just rather stay home.
They don't do nothing for us. I just don't like to.
They don't do nothing for us. God damn it. This is why Trump loves the poorly educated.
At all.
You don't feel that you have a say?
Yeah.
You don't have more of a say in government if you vote?
No, we don't. The government doesn't help us for nothing.
The Latino voter turnout rate in midterms has dropped since 2006. So in 2018, candidates across the country are going bilingual on both sides of the aisle.
Soy Rick Scott.
But it's the Democrats who are counting on Latino turnout to win seats in Congress.
Do you feel that the Democratic establishment is paying enough attention to the Latino vote?
Not enough, but there are inroads. Little by little, I think we're getting to the numbers, and by them paying attention, then you can motivate them to turn out.
Latinos are not monolithic as a voting bloc. In the latest Gallup poll, 25% of them say that they approve of President Trump. And something else to remember, Allison, is that as a demographic, they're quite young, and youth means that people are less inclined to vote. Allison?
That is a problem. The youth need to turn out to vote. Thank you very much, Kyung.
So, while we were taking our hiatus, a New York Times journalist who happened to be Saudi was mysteriously kidnapped and murdered in Saudi Arabia. Here's a story about that.
Joining me right now is former U.S. Ambassador to Saudi Arabia under President George W. Bush and the author of the book Desert Diplomat, Robert Jordan. Ambassador, good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us.
Hi, Maria.
So we've got all of these comments from the Turkish government and Turkey, as you just heard, saying that
Turkey.
Saudi operatives beat, drugged, killed, and dismembered.
It was in Turkey, suspected by Saudis. Forgive my mistake.
Saudi journalist. This from Turkish officials. Is there any reason why we should not believe Turkish officials?
Yes.
Well, the Turks have some animosity and difficulties with the Saudis from time to time, but I think in this case we probably ought to be inclined to believe them. A lot depends on what they can show our investigators in terms of the forensic evidence. Clearly there has been a cover-up at the consulate by the Saudis. They brought in cleaning crews. They've apparently painted over walls. So that's obviously a sign of guilt in some ways, even to have done that and destroy the crime scene. I think there is every likelihood that the Turkish comments are accurate.
What should the United States do about it at this point?
Well, we need to find out how much Crown Prince Salman, Mohammed bin Salman, actually knew about this. I don't.
How are you going to find out what he knew?
And the notion that if he didn't know about it, it's okay. It's not okay. This was a team of assassins. This was a forensic doctor who was part of the team, bringing along with him a bone saw. They were only in the consulate for 2 hours. That is not the kind of lengthy interrogation you would expect under peaceable terms. So I think this pretty clearly was a hit squad that came in, many of whom have been documented to have close ties to Crown Prince Mohammed. So I think we've got to get to the bottom of that. And if Mohammed, for some odd reason, didn't know about it ahead of time, then you have to ask a question, how much is he actually in control of the kingdom? This would have been a major decision by their government, and one that I can't imagine he would not have been closely attached to.
So they were only in there for 2 hours. That's an important point that you raise. Tell me a little about Jamal Khashoggi, if you know anything about him. I mean, there's sort of a debate on who he was. Was he an activist or a journalist? Was he a member of the Muslim Brotherhood? What's your take?
I knew him and met with him a number of times when I was ambassador. He was a peaceful individual, never someone who would foment activist dissent in a violent way. He was not a threat to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He had opinions which he expressed, some of which were critical of the human rights violations that I think we've all criticized within Saudi Arabia. At the same time, he was complimentary from time to time of some of the reforms that this new Crown Prince had been undertaking. So it's a mixed message there. Certainly not someone who was an activist in the sense of trying to bring down the regime or foment revolution.
There's a debate on how to respond this morning on the U.S.'s part. I guess one of the big disappointments here is that there was a notion that Mohammed bin Salman was sort of the last hope for the world to stabilize the Middle East, stabilize the region in the face of the terrorism coming out of Iran. So putting aside this incident, should the U.S. cut ties with the Saudis?
This is an argument that we wrestle with all.
Wow. Should the Americans cut ties with the Saudis? This is an argument we've wrestled with. And that brings us to our next story. WWE monitoring situation ahead of November event in Saudi Arabia. And here's a picture from the last WWE event, the Greatest Battle Royal in Saudi Arabia. You can see at ringside all of the Saudi royal family and their children sitting ringside at this last event, because they're planning an event there called the Crown Jewel, and it's huge. Like, even wrestlers that have been retired for years are coming out of retirement to join this event. The WWE has, which has an event scheduled November 2nd in Saudi Arabia, said it's monitoring developments as pressure increases on the country over its alleged role in the disappearance of journalist Jamal blah, 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 blah. I know they just said his name, but I don't fucking remember it. WWE's Crown Jewel event is scheduled to be held at the King Saud University Stadium in Friday. So basically a bunch of senators, several government officials, including Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut, where WWE is based, Bob Menendez of New Jersey, Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, and Chris Coons from Delaware have encouraged WWE to postpone their event or reconsider their relationship with Saudi Arabia. You know, this could just be a total coincidence, but after the show in Saudi Arabia, WWE's stock started to go way up. And it got to the point where it's almost doubled what it was a year ago. I don't know. I don't know if that's part of the business. Why maybe the Saudis are buying up WWE stock now. Who knows? I wonder how much they own. Yeah. It's weird, though, because at these events, they don't let any women, like none of the women wrestlers get to show up. Women ring announcers, anything like that. They're all forbidden. They can't sell oil forever. Yeah, the Saudis are just going to buy up pro wrestling stock. Oh, here's another news story, and I noticed this today. Now, I knew this was going to happen because I was at PAX, but here it is. Discord's game store is now open. So now Discord has decided that they're going to cut into streams revenue. Like, hey, in a way, this is awesome. Why have your games and your ways of chatting with other gamers separate from one another? Why not? You know what? I say fuck it. Let's make Discord everything. Let's make Discord a place that you stream from. Let's make Discord a place, you know, like Streamlabs that does shit like Streamlabs. Let's make it a one-stop shop for everything. I'm pretty sure Twitch might have plans to do that too. Keep Patreon in there too. Make a new Patreon type system. Because fuck Patreon. Patreon has two jobs: to take a payment and then help the user manage their crowdfunding. That's it. It's a website that manages. It's almost like QuickBooks for streamers or, you know, content creators. You know, it just helps you manage who paid you, how much they paid you, and what they get. But if they can't take payments, that's one of their fundamental issues. I mean, I could take payments directly through Outlook or through PayPal, and I wouldn't have to pay a fee on it. But then it would be a little harder for me to sit down and manage who gets what. That's why Patreon makes their money. Any Halloween plans? There's a Drunken Peasants episode on Halloween. Those are my Halloween plans. But yeah, I was checking it out today on Discord. I was looking at the games and stuff. It's pretty cool. Am I going to dress up? I haven't worn a Halloween costume in a long time. I'm really not sure. Dress up or drop acid? Probably neither. I don't think I'm going to dress up. I'm not into dressing up. I'm not festive, guys. I'm not really festive. I like Thanksgiving because you get to eat a lot of fucking food and then go into a food coma and pass out and maybe watch some football. I don't give a shit about, oh, this is, you know, people thousands of years ago decided this was a special day, so now we celebrate this day, and this is what you do on this day. hundreds of years ago, whatever the fuck. I mean, for thousands of years ago, you could pick like holidays that have existed for thousands of years. I mean, isn't that really what a lot of like Christmas? Technically, it's a Christian holiday, but isn't it covering up old pagan holidays that existed long before Christianity? Ugh. Yeah, New Year's. Did you guys ever see that thing that they do in the Netherlands, where Santa Claus, instead of having Krampus, Santa Claus basically has like a slave, and he does the same shit that Krampus does, like he beats the kids with branches. It's pretty hilarious. People are mad about it, though. They say that's racist. Here it is. These are a bunch of white Dutch people dressed like doing blackface. And here's a bunch of black Dutch people that are pissed. Santa Claus with his slave. Look at this. Look how happy he looks. His big red lips. Santa Claus has got his whole crew of slaves with him. Better watch out. He'll beat the fuck out of your kids. That's racist. Warren was written about in a Harvard newspaper saying she's Harvard Law's first woman of color.
Warren was written about in a Harvard newspaper saying she's Harvard Law's first woman of color. Yes, a distraction, but she is playing Trump's game.
Yeah, sure. If she said that, either she was flat out lying or she believed some shit that her parents told her or her grandparents. And like I said, I've known many white people who swore that they were part Native American, and it turned out they were 0%. But, you know, getting into Harvard Law, and they're like, yeah, I'm Native American. And I mean, like, they're not going to let her into Harvard Law just because she's Native American. You have to make the grade. Harvard Law is not a school where they're just going to let anybody in. And plus, she graduated. So she proved it. She had to have had good grades before she got in. They weren't just like, oh, hey, you know, this Indian wants to be a member of Harvard Law. So let's just let her in. Let's, you know, even though she's dumb as a doorknob, we'll just let her pass all the tests. All right. You guys freak out about the most insignificant shit, and you aggrandize so many things. The Native American shit did nothing for her. It did nothing. Seriously. All it did was impress certain gullible people that were like, she's a Native American. It did nothing. Sorry. Find something more damning about her to criticize her for. There's got to be something else. Go look at all her years. Yeah, it made her a joke. That's whatever. That's dumb. Let's go look at her record as a senator. I'm sure you can find better things to fault her there for. Yeah, I said that earlier. Supporting Hillary made her look bad when they were showing, like, the prospective candidates. She did have some DNA. No, you can still criticize her even if you think she's a protected class. This is so dumb. People criticized Obama all the time. It's Chanel Fender. Oh, now we're moving into the more crazy part of the show.
Hey, Faye family, it's Brother Mario.
Looks like he's been crying.
Pray you're having a great day. I'm so excited to be sharing this video with you as a part 2 to a new video series I've created to share with you my testimony of coming out of the New Age movement and how now as a born-again Christian, I feel called by God to warn the body of Christ, believers out there, against such practices. And also anyone who's spiritually seeking. I want to help warn you against this because it led me astray. So I pray that this video is a blessing to you. So what we're going to be talking about specifically is astrology, which is the study of movements and relative positions of celestial bodies or objects as a mean of divining information about human affairs and terrestrial events. And if you don't know what divination...
I mean... It was created that way. But, and yes, a lot of people do still believe it. It's superstition. And I'll read astrology stuff just because it's fun. I don't think it's real. And it's written in a way that it could apply to anybody. It's almost like cold reading in a way. You know, go and read a fucking page full of horoscopes. Read all of them. I bet you at least half of them can apply to you, even though only one of those is your zodiac sign.
It's the practice of attempting to foretell the future or future events or discover hidden knowledge by occult or supernatural means. And
it's not supernatural means, it's the fucking stars. They're real.
And God himself in the Bible says that we're not to practice divination. And I'll share with you why after my testimony I believe that he tells us not to do these things, because we're going to be led astray. So let's talk first of all about my testimony. Now, most people, when you think of astrology, you simply think, well, that's that silly little Sunday newspaper column at the end where it gives me a little paragraph about...
Yeah, those are called rational people. Those are rational people. Those are the people you should be listening to. Yes, it's the silly fucking thing at the end of the Sunday paper. People read it for fun.
What's supposed to happen? That is a very superficial, shallow form of the astrological system.
No. Well, yeah, sure. It's superficial and shallow because that's how it's meant to be taken. It's not meant to be taken seriously the way you take it. If anything, it's superstition. But usually for people, it's just fun. People have fun reading it and being like, oh, is this true for me right now?
The true astrology comes when you sit with someone, an astrologer, and they write up your birth chart. So a birth chart is basically the picture of the celestial bodies at the moment of your birth. And according to astrology, it's believed that the positioning of the celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, the different planets in the different houses, as they're called, gives a difference to your personality. It makes you different. And by understanding this system and how the stars are aligned and the different placements, we can learn about ourselves. And it is a fantastic, apparently, system to discover who you truly are within yourself. And many people are led astray into this system. So this is something that I practiced big time. So for me, it was all about, well, what is my sun sign? What is my moon sign? What is my ascendant? Where is this planet in relation to this house? And how many planets do I have?
You're retardedly gullible enough to actually get that deep into it. Most people don't.
Have in this house, and what does that mean? And then I'd find my friends and all of them, and oh, what does this mean in correlation? And let's put our charts together. And I got really in depth with it. There was one book that really was like my Bible. It was called The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need by Johanna Martin Woolfolk. And this book is one that I used.
That's what they should change the name of the Bible to. The Only Religion Book You'll Ever Need.
Just like I would a Bible. I referenced everything when I would have someone come to me for a reading or a spiritual guidance. I would rip out this book and we would go through it, and from there we'd be able to pull out all this ancient wisdom about the individual. Now let me point out a little side note here to my brothers and sisters in Christ. Don't be so foolish to think that there is not an actual, real, supernatural phenomenon that is occurring here. I know many Christians just simply laugh this stuff off and think, well, astrology, black magic, occultism, that's just crazy nonsense.
Yes, they have a point. They have a point. Even though Christianity is crazy nonsense too. They have the sense, at least with everything else, to know that that too is crazy nonsense. You think it's real and valid, which is even crazier.
No, brothers and sisters out there, read your Bible. Satan has a supernatural power. He actually does. Think about it. When in the Bible, Moses grabbed his staff and threw it on the ground and it turned into a stake, what did the black magicians do in response to that? They did the same exact supernatural miracle, you could say, but they did it using the power of Satan.
Mario's zodiac sign is the pool noodle. Good one.
So when it comes to these ancient satanic arts, what we need to realize, brothers and sisters, is
how is this Satan? Okay. Doesn't it say in the Bible that God created the sky and the stars? So isn't it God that positioned the stars where they are? And then ancient humans just looked at the stars and made pictures out of them, like connect the dots wise? How is that satanic? Unless Satan made the stars, I don't know. And hey, what about the southern hemisphere? They get completely different stars down there. Are they just not affected by the evil astrology?
There is a supernatural power working behind this. Let me tell you, now that I am born again and I understand the things of the Spirit because my spiritual eyes are open, I can look back on the readings and see that I was under the influence of a spirit. There are spiritual principalities and powers that work behind this system because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers according to the book of Ephesians. So what's important to realize here is there is some...
Talk with your hands so much.
To this. I promise you, if I was to draw out your chart right now, you gave me the moment of your birth and I grabbed that old book, I don't have it, of course, but I went and got a copy, I'd be able to give you a reading, brother or sister.
Yeah, and you'd give it in such a vaguely yet specific way to where 90% of the people you give it to, it would apply to them. That's how it works. That's how palm reading works. That's how tarot reading works. It's all done in a way that seems oddly personal, but it's actually vaguely specific.
That would shock you when it comes to how accurate it is to describe your character. There's no way around this, okay? It is there. There is no way to look at the astrology reading and be like, no, this is all nonsense. Oh, no, Satan's good. Satan knows how to lure.
No one says that. People usually either say, I don't believe in Satan, or Satan's bad. Very few people say Satan's good. And the people that do say it don't really believe in Satan. They're just being edgy for the most part. I like this screenshot, by the way. I don't know how to caption it. Mario, Mario checking you for testicular cancer. That's what he's doing. Guys, or people with testicles, imagine Mario's examining you for testicular cancer in this picture. Yeah. Oh no. Looks like the Satanic Illuminati gave you a hernia. I was so lucky I didn't get one of those ball hernias. Because a lot of people, the hernia like goes down into their ball sack. Dr. Mario. Yeah. Put the balls in, match the balls by color. The prostate comes next. You know it. I've had a couple prostate exams. You know, like, honestly, it's good to have them. Because just like colon cancer, prostate cancer can develop for a long time before you even know you have it. And I've never had a doctor that's weird. They've always been really professional and they get it done as quickly as they can. They don't want to have their finger in my ass. You know, they want to have their finger in my ass as badly as I want it in there, which is not at all. So it's really quick. It's worth it. Seriously though, colonoscopy, if you're, this is weird to say, but seriously, if you're over 35, I would say get a colonoscopy. 40 at the oldest. You should be 40 at the absolute oldest if you get a colonoscopy. It's because cancer grows in there. It kills a lot of people. I think colon cancer might be the #1 killer. As far as cancer goes for men. I know I just totally changed the subject, but it's important. And it does suck to have a giant contraption shoved up there, but what can you do? Anyway, back to Mario. We're talking about ass cancer instead of Mario.
For the men, of course. And he does. The astrological reading will resemble a lot of what your characteristics are like, to the point that it is shocking, that it is witchcraft. It is, okay?
Doesn't it come from HPV? What? Colon cancer? No. Colon cancer can come from all sorts of shit. Literally shit. It's not just from HPV. I know HPV can become some types of cancers, but that would probably be more like anal cancer or rectal cancer. Your colon's way up inside of you. So you wouldn't get it from a sexually transmitted infection normally. There's other reasons why people develop colon cancer.
There is a supernatural element here, and the enemy wants to lead people astray by handing them a little bit of truth about themselves. But we'll talk about why this discovery of the self is actually a satanic spiritual pursuit to even begin with. Because some of you, maybe the New Agers listening, may be wondering, well, if there is something to discover about myself, why wouldn't I want to do that? Well, I'll show you why that is a spiritual danger in a moment.
Yeah, I know HPV turns into throat cancer in men. Yeah, that's Michael Douglas had that shit. He said it was from licking too much pussy. He got throat cancer.
But brothers and sisters, do not be deceived. There's actually something very spiritual going on here. This is real witchcraft, real supernatural power that the enemy is able to use. So, as a New Ager, that was one of the things I was really into, writing up charts for everyone and all this stuff.
Sounds like you were having more fun. Sounds like your life was more fun. You used to get laid, used to drink, used to practice fun witchcraft type things, whatever. Now you're worried all the time. Now you're more stressed out. Look, Mario, I see the salt and pepper in your hair now. I see the gray hairs popping up. Getting older, Mario. This shit's aging you at a rapid pace, dude. I just want to help, man.
So why is it, okay, that this stuff is witchcraft? Well, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 9 to 12 clearly says, the Lord tells his people about the abominable practices of the heathen nations, of the unbelieving nations.
Are you about to cry because of the abominable tactics? Let's see.
And he says to his people, he said, there shall not be among you found anyone who burns his son or daughter as an offering. So no fire, blood sacrifices for your kids. I mean,
yeah, you know, astrology people are always burning their children alive. Yeah, do you remember the Psychic Friends Network back in the day? And like Ms. Cleo? Ms. Cleo be like, hey man, I want you to burn the shit out of your baby. No, that didn't happen. No, astrology people aren't doing human sacrifice. Practice astrology one day next month. Before you know it, you're killing your kids.
Clear. Anyone who practices divination or who tells fortunes or interprets omens or
omens, I think you mean, not ormans, but I could be wrong.
Is a sorcerer, a charmer, or a medium, or a necromancer, one who inquires of the dead.
See, now you're just making it sound cool. You threw necromancer in there, and the people are like, yeah, I want to be a necromancer. Fuck yeah. I can raise a skeleton army to fight by my side.
For whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord your God is driving them out before you. And so what we see here is amongst God's people, there is not to be found anyone who practices.
Mario, did you ever think for a moment that maybe you're such a fucking dweeb that you're making people want to do these things that you say are satanic? Just so they don't have to be like you?
This is divination. And what did it say earlier? Divination is the practice of telling the future or attempting to, or to discover hidden knowledge by supernatural means. And so the astrological system is a system of divination. It is a system where an individual seeks to get guidance by something. And this is where we end up in error. Why is it an abominable spiritual practice? God himself should be your guide, not the stars, the planets, the moons, and...
But hold on, though. Didn't God put them all there? How do we know this isn't God putting his message to us in these things that you claim he created? Since God doesn't appear in front of us and talk to us directly... I mean, I've heard Christians argue that DNA was a message God put into DNA so that we could understand, you know, how humans come to be and how we fit together genetically. So how is it that, how do we know that astrology isn't like the DNA of the universe that we decrypt and figure out the hidden meaning about, you know, who we are and if we do it well enough, we can realize the future in our own habits. Why does this have to be a satanic thing? Why didn't the devil make the stars then? My 84-year-old grandfather is doing more exciting things than Mario. Because the Bible says it's bad. No, the Bible says that God created the sky and the stars and everything, and it was good. The Bible specifically says it's all good. Right? God is collaborating with Satan. I mean... if you believe the story of how Satan came to be and how God just kind of let him do whatever he wanted instead of just like killing him or imprisoning him somewhere, God just lets him choose to be his biggest nemesis. It does kind of sound that way, doesn't it? Yeah, Mario needs some Seroquel, just like Gale. It must be that yeast infection.
And the spiritual powers that work behind him. Psalm chapter 119, 105. Your word, talking about the Bible, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 32, verse 8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. And this is something the Lord says to us. He will teach us where we should go, what path. You don't need the stars and the moon and this and that. John chapter 16, verse 13, when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth. For he will not speak of his own authority, but whatever he hears, he will speak, and he will declare to you the things that are to come. And so we see here that the Holy Spirit leads us into truth.
Oh, I thought I saw a good... Hold on.
He will declare to you the things that are to come. And so we see here that the Holy...
There we go. I was looking for that. Hi, guys! How's it going? Like Jesus? You say okay. Let's see what else we got here. Fucking Egghead! Tried to get him on at the beginning of the show and he wouldn't. He was too much of a puss. I knew he ran away because he was scared. Where is he? Where's Egghead? The one time he rage quit and left the whole server. Where is he? Every time I send him a friend request, he denies it. He's such a little jerk. Egghead. Anyone who's in a mutual server with Egghead, you should ping Egghead right now. Come on, Speedy. Yeah, I know you know that I'm streaming. You showed up and commented in the comments immediately. Egghead comes on all of the, he comes on all the post shows because he knows there's only like 10 people watching those. I want to ask him the tough questions. Fucking Speedy. I'm going to challenge you to a debate, Egghead. Let me ask you something, Egghead. Let me ask you something. I want to challenge you to a debate. Are you afraid to debate me, Egghead? Let me ask you. Egghead for G-Man. I won. Chalk up another win for the G-Man. Ha! What a piece of shit. How many people liked my thumbnail for this stream? Did you guys get to see it? I spent a long time on it because I suck at thumbnails. Oh my god, are you guys ready for the cringiest fucking video ever? This one is the new, this is the new video that, because cringiness has to be kind of funny. Like, it's that much funny. But like the rest of it makes you uncomfortable and might even make you a little upset. And I think this next video is that. It's scary. It's perverted. It's disturbing. It's unintentionally not funny. It's so fucking bad. It is not Chris Chan. Here we go. This video is entitled Guess the Celebrity Penis.
Salutations, valuable viewers. Remember that one time I made that coming out video?
He still has that thing with his mic where it's like...
No? Oh, to be honest, me neither, because I was so wasted when I filmed it. And I bet now you're all like, LH, alcohol and meth are a dangerous combination. You know, because most of you think I look like a drug addict. Fuck you, that's just how I look, okay? Anyways, ever since I made that video, the number of dick pics I receive on Kik and Snapchat has almost tripled. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't have Snapchat because I have a shitty Windows phone.
Oh, let me pull something up. Okay, there we go. Now I can cue it up when when he tells one of his zingers, you know, I can just get it going, you know. We'll back that up so we can time it up right.
The number of dick pics I receive on Kik and Snapchat has almost tripled. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't have Snapchat because I have a shitty Windows phone. Fuck you, Microsoft. But I did get a link to a BuzzFeed quiz on my forum, so I guess that's something. Can you guess the famous bulge? I probably don't know even half of these celebrities, but let's give it a try. And yes, I know that other YouTubers did this quiz too, but come on, who even watches Shane Dawson in 2015? Just kidding, love ya, Shane. Wait, no. He's bi now. I only like you as a friend. Okay, let's start this! Now, I know for sure that it's not foxes. I mean, look at his size. Black dude, size. Black dude, size. See my point? Okay, so... Franco's, Iglesias, Efrons. I'm gonna go with... Franco's, because... he's the skinniest out of the three. And those legs seem rather skinny. What? No! Efrons! What the fuck? It's Zack Sack, and yes, it looks like Dave Franco is waiting for it to break free. Gay! I could have sworn it was James Franco's. Well, I guess I should have paid more attention when I watched Spring Breakers. Didn't Vanessa Hudgens give him a blowjob in that movie? The only thing I remember about it is that it was so freaking weird and boring. You gotta hand it to Harmony Korine. You need a lot of fucking talent to have Selena Gomez and Vanessa Hudgens in bathing suits in your movie and still manage somehow to make it incredibly boring. Well, since I didn't get off on the right foot this quiz, let's see next one. Who's setting up camp to pitch a tent? Well, it's not Will Smith. Will Smith's body looks different.
How do you know?
This guy's torso seems short. Have no clue who Derek is. So I'm gonna go with...
Derek Jeter?
Pitbull. Adam Levine would be my second choice. But... yes, Pitbull. It's Pitbull. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I think that's the type of grey suit that became his trademark. The legendary Pitbull, Jay. Oh, how funny. They should make one of these quizzes for YouTubers, bulges, and one of them should be Dan Bulge. Get it? No? Nobody knows? The guy with the rap songs? Huh? Okay. An international delicacy. What the fuck? Seriously? What horny pervert created this quiz?
That doesn't...
Christian Zamora. Oh, Christian Zamora, you horny, gay BuzzFeed staff member, you. Probably Hughes. Gonna go with Hughes. Yeah, I don't have the slightest idea about
it looks deformed.
Gonna choose it at random. No? Justin's? Okay then. No Wolverine bulge. Fine. Dear Justin, this international delicacy is seriously enough to feed an entire nation. I don't usually say you. But you! An entire nation of gays! I have no fucking clue who most of these people are. I'm gonna go with Matt, because... why not? Shamar. Who the fuck is Shamar? This is getting annoying.
Why did you play it then? Why are you playing this if it's annoying? And you don't even know who the people are?
Great! Shamar is better up because Shamar is ready to hit a home run. Damn those man boobs. Who has thick jeans under these tight jeans? Well... that could be Mark Ruffalo's penis. It looks small enough to fit into the hot pants. It also looks small enough to be these Asian dudes. I know who the other two guys are. God. Gonna go with... Ruffalo. Although I'm 100% sure it's not him. Yep, I knew it. Ackles. Congratulations on your small dick, Ackles. Whoever you may be. Jensen Ackles does. That's a supernatural bulge right there. Supernatural, eh? Well, I hope that by supernatural you mean it triples in size or something. Who's taking their bulge out for a run? This has got to be Ricky. What? Mario? Well, if you say so. He sure looks different since the last time I played his games. Judging by the size, I figure Princess Peach must be pretty disappointed. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I have no clue who this guy is. Mario Lopez. Still nothing. Whose TBT bulge is this? Oh,
okay.
We're going old school now, eh?
All dead people.
I have a feeling it's Humphrey Bogart.
Oh no, not Sean Connery. Pick the only
Connery.
one who's still alive,
Just
Sean Connery.
Ex-mom. But just for the sake of randomness, I'll pick James Dean. What?
It was Sean Connery.
It was Sean Connery's. What a nice vintage bulge, Trebek. I don't know, man. Doesn't look like it to me. Who's going to poke your eyes out accidentally? Who's going to punch you in the face voluntarily if you don't cut out with these gay jokes, Zamora? It's probably not Jay-Z. I don't know these other two people, so I'm gonna go with Captain America. Kellen. Congratulations,
I don't know
Kellen.
who that is.
You're the 10th guy whose identity is unknown to me since I started this quiz. Who is attached to the 8th world wonder? I'm sorry. What did I tell you, Zamora? What did I fucking tell you? Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, back. Is it Justin? Is it Ryan? I'm gonna pick Justin. Fuck! Michael Fassbender is. Whose bulge is taking selfies? Oh, you mean other than Justin Bieber's? Drake is the kind of guy who hugs his penis in the shower. And by hugging it, I actually mean hugging it with both arms. Not an euphemism for masturbation. But Drake's skin is lighter than the one of the guy in this pic. So I'm gonna go with Trey Songz. Yes! Wow, this was totally a lucky guess. And who's the one bulge to rule them all? I don't know, Gandalf's? That fat Scottish dwarf who rode a boar into battle? Okay, John Hamm. Holy fuck, if you zoom in and look closely, you can actually see its head. You got 2 out of 11 right. Your bulge game is seriously flaccid. I know that! I don't know dicks, alright? Gosh! I guess this will have to constitute enough proof for the final judgment. When they read my list of sins at Heaven's Gate. Were you gay? Nope, only guessed 2 dicks in the BuzzFeed quiz. Alright, so that's a definite no. Thanks for watching, valuable viewers. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button. Favorite, share, follow me on social networks and forums. All the links are in the description. Thanks for being such amazing subscribers. You rule! And I say, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. What's going on in the crime? Oh my God, do I try?
pray? Oh my God, do I pray? I pray every single day.
He is funny. He drives audiences to hysterical laughter. You guys loved that video. What is this?
Hi. How are you?
Good.
I felt kind of phony doing it, but I said to myself, oh, I love you. Before I even opened my mouth or even looked at the camera or anything. And because, I mean, I do it naturally, but I went through a phase in my life. I mean, that's what all these birdies are doing and everybody, I mean, the kids do it, the dogs do it. It's a natural behavior because all the way down to your cells. You know, it's like,
no.
Oh, my healthy cell next door, I love you so much.
He's got like something stuck in his mustache.
You know, first is, if you have a less than good thought, you are less than good. Meaning that I can't even use the BAD word because it's a whole realm that doesn't exist in my brain.
Okay? It's a whole realm that doesn't exist in your brain.
Bad, that word, is like, no, not necessary in processing. Good, better. Well, you're right. Good, better. Good, better. Good, better. And so you're always resetting there. And so, when you blame the living, you are the broken. I mean, how could you be blaming somebody that's living and going, hi, you're beautiful. It's good to see you. You have lots of good thoughts inside. How can I help you? What can I do? Well, you could give them this video.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, you have to commit now to get here. You know, I mean, I give you all the tools, go back in my videos, you know, and now it's so simplified. Think with 3 atmospheres.
It's so simplified.
Forgot all the language. Here we go. You are the life that the 3 atmospheres grow. And you're one with it. And you're the energy, top to bottom. Okay? Every cell of your body, I'm giving you a Turing complete attitude.
By my eyes.
Oh. So do I look like a 4-year-old? Yes! I'm still 4. I'm B4. BE4.
You're
That's
on
like a
B4?
connotation detonation. And so, here's the point. This is an old, you know, I learned this when I came down and managed sales forces. And that, you know, when you interact with a customer, you got to have that feeling inside.
He used to interact with customers.
You know, it's, you know, integrity breaches breed leeches. All right, how long till eating? A lie is a cockroach. Find one,
find a bunch.
So that whole thing is like, you cannot be. If you have that stuff in you. And so you're able to clear your mind and make that commitment. I'll leave it. I'm going to close the video right now. You have to make a commitment to do this for like 5 days, 4 days, 3 days. Well, until you forget and you're doing it all the time. It's like learning how to walk. You know, it took all of our thought. But now we walk and don't even think about it. Well, you have to embed that freedom of thought where you're not breaching your integrity. You're thinking from this earth like a farmer. You've applied the physics of inheritance on your language. And so that if you have a less than good thought, the less than good is in you and you're not. We can leave the world better. We're going to leave the world better. I promise. I promise. Help, help, help. Share this video and spread the love.
Spread the love, guys.
Because I love me, and I love you, and I love every cell of you, including every cell of your body too. I love you.
I like how he uses that old song. Here's another crazy naked guy.
And then what was the Catholic Church's scheme, like with David Hargrove and the Wiccan woman of like Social Security, of like mental health organizations? Their scheme was, it was good for the humans to go to mental institutes, to be labeled with like schizophrenia and to be put on all these medications.
Lord Vader!
Because then when it...
Thank you for the 33 super chats.
Long-time watcher, first-time donator. Thanks for all the entertainment over the years.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, main channel. There's going to be a show. If you're unsubscribed by whatever means from the main channel, now's the time to resubscribe. Also, now's the time to become members over at the main channel. Because people are going to get their emotes and the specialized badges and everything. So we'll finally get to use that shit again.
Went to the mental institute, they would remove the spells from their voodoo scheme, yeah, so that they would make money.
Oh.
And then their new scheme was, let's put all of the humans in mental institutes over and over again to bankrupt the federal government. Only problem was...
Oh, yes. The main channel is back. These streams, the streams with just me, they're going to be on this channel. And then the regular show streams are going to be on the main channel.
Donald Trump's scheme was that he wasn't going to give federal relief to California anymore. Okay. And that means with everyone going to mental institutes and me being thrown to mental institutes all the time, yeah, that's a lot of tax money.
Why is your beard so nicely groomed, but why is your mustache so nicely groomed, but your beard is so weird and bushy and lopsided?
For California, and they're going to need like federal relief to pay all those doctors, but Donald Trump won't do it.
Oh, another thing I said earlier. Okay, I'm going to stream for about 15 more minutes. If we can meet this goal, now guys, the goal is only affected by Streamlabs. If we can hit this goal within the next 15 minutes, I will stream again tonight. I'll do another late night stream. Just throwing that out there. Ooh, Vorn Helton. Ooh, I'll do some Vorn Helton tonight. But we got to meet the goal. We're so close. There's no reason why we can't meet the goal.
And then California will be put in a checkmate. Well, Donald Trump will have his way. If I'm king, he will have his way. And there's going to be a wall to separate California and the United States from Mexico. And maybe all...
California and the United States? I believe those are one and the same, buddy.
All the Mexicans eventually will be thrown back into Mexico by my demands and the recording.
Oh, yeah. Send me that video. I'll watch it later. Vorn. If anybody can help. Plus, your name shows up at the bottom of the screen and the little thing that's scrolling at the bottom, too. That's pretty cool. It stays there for a while, too. Whatever the fuck this guy just said. It does kind of sound like Evanism a little bit, though. But Evan's way more articulate than this guy. Maybe this is some guy, he ranks lower than Evan in Evanism.
Benpai. I'm sold.
Oh, yeah! Fuck yeah, thank you. All right, so all we need is $10. And we've met it. Vindane.
We can do it, guys.
Oh, my God, there we go. Hold on. Shouldn't that have just... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right, we can do it. We've met it. And I really appreciate it. And if you want to give any more, that's awesome, too. I'm going to go 15 more minutes like I said I would. And then I'm going to stream again later tonight. What time should I do it for? I want to do it at a time where a lot of people can watch. I know it's a weeknight, and I realize I'm on Pacific time, so most time zones in the world are ahead of me. I think I'll start at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So that's midnight Eastern time. Maybe 8, possibly 8. But probably more like 9. You know, I already took one bath today, but I think I'm going to take another one, a super hot one. And then there's this Chinese herbal supplement that I drink. And it's probably all just, you know, like holistic bullshit. But it gives me the placebo effect because it works every time. Here, I'm going to get it really quick because it's just so ridiculous. One moment. All right. Yeah. This is like my Jilly juice. It's Southern Banlan Jen Chong Ji. Southern Banlan Chen Chong Ji. Southern Banlan Jen Chong Ji. Say it with me, guys. Southern Banlan Chen Chong Ji. Southern Banlan Jen Chong Ji. I want to get sponsored by this shit. Southern Banlan Jen Chong Ji is the shit. I want to start selling. I wonder if they have an affiliate program. It says, see, it comes in these packets. It is not diarrhea water. This doesn't have a bunch of salt in it. I think it has heroin in it. It's like an herbal tea. It's not Jilly juice. It doesn't make you shit. It has like caffeine in it though, I'm pretty sure. And it has sugar in it. Yeah, it's for my own personal opium den. Hey, I just read it as it says. Southern Banlan Genchong Ji. Okay? How do you say it? How do you say it? How do you say it? My jelly juice. It even says it's some kind of root. Some root combination instant herbal beverage. If you say it 3 times, a packet of sugary jelly juice comes to life and kills everyone you know. It is Chinese. It's definitely not Japanese. It even says it's made in China. Oh, you want me to squint my eyes when I say it? Oh my god. Southern Banlan Chengyongji. Southern Banlan Chengyongji. Oh god. Hold on, let me do this the right way. Southern Banlan Chengyongji. No, 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 no. I remember I made a thumbnail on my channel, on the Benpai channel, for one of my streams. And it was a picture of me where I was all high and my eyes are just like slits in my face. And I put one of those like Chinese hats on me, you know, like the cone looking hats. And I put like a Chinese background and everything behind me. It was priceless. I wonder if there's... Is there a picture of it? I don't remember which number it is. If I did, it would probably be easier. Welcome to Shady World. Can I check your order, please? Tell us, sir, about how you got into drinking that tea. I just knew people that were into like the Chinese herbal medicine shit. I don't believe it's real, obviously, but I'll try anything, you know, like I'll drink the fucking weird tea if you want. It actually tastes kind of good. I like the flavor of it. And I've noticed that, like, I do feel better after drinking it. Not to say that it has any actual medical value to it. I really don't know anyway. The Chinese love to trick people. Yeah, they're tricking me. I'm actually already dead. the Chinese medicine turned me into a zombie. I love drinking that shit. It's so fucking great. Ugh. Huh. Oh shit, it went away. Can I get it? Is this it? Oh, it's too small. That sucks. Right here. Yeah, damn it, it doesn't look that good, but yeah, you can kind of see it, even though it's a really low resolution, so it looks like shit. You can see, like, my eyes were all small. People like that shit. Hey, I got a question for you guys. If anyone's watching right now, who remembers this guy we used to watch on DP, he looked like he was like in his 30s, but all of his videos were from a room. It looked like a it almost looked like a fucking like a little kid's room, and there was a bunch of Ninja Turtle stuff in it. And there was a bass guitar in it. That's all I can really mention right now. Not Brett. He was some guy. He looked like he was about 30. He had like one of those like mushroom haircuts. Was he kind of naked? There were a few where he didn't have a shirt on. But he had like a bunch of... the guy who gives fighting advice. Yeah, I think that's who you're talking about. Yeah, send me some more of his videos. Because I'd like to watch some more of those. Those are interesting. I just forgot his name. Oh man, I'm so congested right now. Let's look at this beautiful picture. This Pimp Monk on his last days. You know, I need a place. You guys, if you have any of these memes, like the Pimp Monk memes or anything else, send them to the inbox so I can find them more easily. That way I don't have to look everywhere for them. Egghead needs the scrubbing bubbles. Oh, weird. The stream is cutting out and laggy. It is. Let's see. Now it says my quality is good and everything. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, I'll be back probably around 9 p.m. I am going to go now. I will see you guys soon. Hey, don't forget, there's another Patreon show coming up this month. Don't miss it. And if you're not a patron yet, you could still go back and watch the last private show. I will admit the ending is abrupt because it just ended. It's like 5-6 hours long. It just ended, but we got through the list. We watched the fucking scary ass Gale movie. Check that out. Become a Patreon. A patron. We really need more patrons because like shit went downhill, and we're trying to get back up above 4,500. We really need it to be in that number, around 4,500 at least. Please help. SOS, SOS. Now let me drink my Chinese shit. And if it doesn't kill me, I'll be back later tonight. Good night, guys.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready cause they're gonna kick your Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.